Hey everyone, Andy Mai here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and build your own business completely from scratch. Something that anyone can literally do. How to go from zero to having an extra $1,000 per year, having an extra $1,000 per month, or having an extra $1,000 per day. Yes, that's an extra $1,000 per day. Before we get into today's movie, let's go ahead and talk about who this might be for. This is for the caged employees working 9-to-5 jobs who feel trapped, soulless, and they're on the master wheel that keeps moving faster and faster. This movie will go ahead and show you how to go ahead and quit your job and work for yourself. The kindpreneurs, people who are sold on entrepreneurship but haven't found the right vehicle to commit to. Lovers of shiny objects and starting and not finishing. This movie will go ahead and show you how to go ahead and commit to one thing. 3. Struggling e-commerce owners. People who are already dropshippers or online sellers, but they're struggling to get sales consistently. This movie will show you how to go ahead and get sales to you with predictability. Lastly, 4. Aware students. Students who know that the traditional path of college education and employment is broken and not the right path for them. This movie will go ahead and show you how to go ahead and start your own e-commerce business. Before we get started, let's go ahead and give you guys an introduction of what Learn Ecom is about. My program is a collection of videos I've made for my family and friends that wanted to go ahead and build their own online business. But as we'll see, it is much more than a bunch of videos. But to go ahead and get you guys on the same page, just give you guys a montage of what Learn Ecom looks like. So here is the affirmation booklet. Let's say generate domain and see if that's available. Oh, this is actually pretty good. This is like a 6.5 out of 10. And you're done. You upload your first product. The first one we have to do directly related to the product. So let's type in foot problem, just type in foot, F-O-O-T. So the bottom 4, you did it correctly where you killed it once it hit break even point, which is good. That we're sort of hand making and hand packaging. So it is going to take, maximum 6 to 8 weeks to arrive. Like 2 to 4 days from now, that's when you're going to be upping a lot of different ad sets, and that's when you'll see a drastic increase on your store.
Here is 3 a.m. so I'm just trying to speak not too loud.
Thank you so much for waking up early, Santiago.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned, this is more than a bunch of videos. It is over-the-shoulder training, and it's not just about e-commerce anymore. It goes over mindset, building a business, building something that's long-term and sustainable, building a team, employing virtual assistants, selling your business, how to go ahead and get an exit. So it's evolved to much more than just building an online store. Students get live feedback, and we're implementing a bunch of instructor dashboards. We're bringing in 24-hour customer support members to go ahead and give all these students 24/7 support with any one of their issues. Like, this is sort of the goal line vision for Learn Ecom on how I can go ahead and supercharge individuals just like you. So we're reaching quite a decent amount of people these days. And I want to tell you guys a story about how I got started, because I have a feeling that this introduction of my students' journey over the past 3 or 4 years is definitely something that will parallel yours and what you're going through right now. Let's take it back into 2015. I was successfully flipping sneakers and clothing on eBay. I would buy them from Facebook groups, I would resell them on eBay. I was making a decent amount of money. And before that, I had a decent amount of experience making money in games based on their virtual currency, and I was making a decent amount of money, so I had a lot of experience when it came to buying and selling under my belt. 2 years later, I finally cracked the code to dropshipping, and as a result, I've just taken a gap year. I didn't drop out, I took a gap year where basically you could take a year off from university, do whatever you want, and you could just come back and resume your degree. Obviously by now you could tell that I did not come back, but one of my family relatives were visiting from the USA right after I dropped out. And it just came out of a conversation with one of my family members that my cousin, 23-year-old Colin, wanted to go ahead and quit his 9-to-5 job. He wasn't enjoying it and he wanted to go ahead and start his own business. And then as we were talking about this, Colin came right into the room. So I asked him about it and he told me, well, I've been trying to get into dropshipping. I've set up a store. I've tested a few products, but I can't seem to find a winning product. And I immediately told him, Colin, I'm 100% sure that you are capable of finding your own winning product. How about this? when you go ahead and fly back to Chicago, we'll jump on a Skype call and I'll work side by side with you and help you find your first ever winning product. And Colin agreed. So, over the next few weeks, I would jump on a call with Colin every afternoon after I finished working and wrapping up with my own e-commerce business. I'll go jump on a call with him, Skype, so we'll share each other's screen and go ahead and teach him all the different steps. At first, Colin just felt like he couldn't do it. He didn't have what it takes. He felt like he didn't have the right skill sets and this was going to be impossible. But after 2 weeks, he started to test. He started to slowly understand product research. He started to slowly understand Facebook ads. Then he frankly found a winning product that made more than 5 figures in a period of a few weeks. And at that point, I was called a senpai. That's a Japanese term for like teacher. And then I ended up calling his parents. You guys probably get nervous and sweaty just thinking about this conversation. Called up Colin's parents and I said, hey, I really think Colin should take a break from his 9 to 5 or even quit it to take this e-commerce thing full-time and very seriously. And somewhat surprisingly, they let Colin go ahead and take leave from his 9 to 5 to commit to his e-commerce business. And the same Colin that didn't believe they had the right skills to succeed when it comes to online business was now helping others achieve the same results. And this was pretty incredible for me on a whole bunch of levels. 1, it was a way for me to connect with a cousin and family member 15,000 kilometers away from where I live on the other side of the world. It was a great way to connect and talk about a subject that I was passionate about. I love e-commerce, I love entrepreneurship, and this is what I enjoy talking about, and being able to share it with my cousin and having someone have the same passion and sort of see them progress and sort of share my success with a family member was amazing. And obviously I play a small part in this because Colin put in a lot of hard work and he deserves a lot of the credit. And so I immediately started working with his younger brothers, Andrew and Alistair, and a few things happened. My online store at the time, my e-commerce business at the time was pretty automated. I had a few sort of virtual assistants running everything from the customer service to order fulfillment to product research. So I had some time on my hand. Word got around the family, and I ended up helping more cousins, more family, more friends, and eventually I was teaching 10 to 15 cousins, family and friends from all over the world on this Skype call, teaching them how to go ahead and make an extra side income, make an extra hobby on the side, and make some money online. That was their goals. Like, they didn't want to get a job at McDonald's. They didn't want to work as a retail assistant. They wanted to have their own online business on their online store, and that's exactly what I helped them do. So with my background in data analysis, when I was enrolled in university, I was doing actuarial studies, which you end up working for some insurance company and you just sort of crunch the numbers all day and you calculate risk and reward, etc. So using my data analysis skills, I started to see some patterns within my cousins, like even the ones that were very tech savvy and they had a lot of experience. They just graduated from uni. They're 1 year into the workforce, 1 year doing their 9 to 5. Like, even they struggled with things like product research, Facebook ads, or even some of the cousins that were just wanting to learn how to go ahead and sell things on eBay. They're still a little foggy when it comes to learning how to rank their products on the eBay search system. So I started writing this exercise platform. That was the first Learn Ecom program. Now, at the time, I called it E-commerce Legacy. Here's a pop-up of the old school logo I had. I think I paid someone $5 from Fiverr to make it for me. As you can see, pretty old school looking, but at the beginning, it had nothing to do with building a course. So I was having a cool mastermind dinner with all my business friends, and one of the hosts asked me, like, everyone sort of knew that this was one of my crazy side projects. He asked me, "Hey Andy, but how are you gonna go ahead and scale your actual lessons?" I said, "Hey Vincent, you're right. Like, it's pretty difficult to do what I did with 1 or 2 cousins, with 10 to 15 family and friends. Like, that's just a lot of people and everyone has their own individual needs." And he told me, "Well, I have an idea. Why don't you go ahead and record your lessons and just upload them to YouTube for all your family and friends?" And I immediately said no. In my mind, I thought YouTube was just for prank videos, how to pick up chicks, vloggers. Like, it wasn't for like serious make money online content. And then I went home that weekend. I got over the idea that wasn't my idea, and I went ahead and gave it a shot, and I posted my first video on YouTube. And those first lessons are still there. If you go to my YouTube channel and you sort about orders, the first video is uploaded on February 2018. And these were just very simple things I saw my cousins consistently ask again and again. It was simple things such as finding winning products, finding winning influencers, general versus niche stores, just very, very basic things. And I started telling my family and friends, hey, why don't you go ahead, watch these videos beforehand, and by doing this, the questions you have for me can be more tailored to your situation. You could email them beforehand, and when we go ahead and jump in our Skype calls, I can really tailor into your issue that I wasn't able to sort of help you with when it came to the general YouTube videos. And then after a month, I asked them for feedback, and they politely said that they loved me much more on YouTube compared to me in person. And I thought about it, there were definitely some things they were saying and some things they weren't saying. And so what they were saying, if you really put yourselves in their shoes as a learner, was that as a learner, when you're sort of teaching them something live on a call, you're telling them, if you go ahead and do this, you set up this, then you link it to this, then you go ahead and integrate this, and it should be simple. And then you ask them, hey, does that make sense? Under the pressure and feeling guilty that you're sort of putting your time and energy, they don't want to say no and ask you to repeat it again, especially when there's a group of students learning. So they'll say, I get it, when in fact they really didn't. And now, by the end of the night, they'll feel embarrassed. There's some gaps in their knowledge and they wouldn't be able to progress because they weren't able to really grasp that information I taught them right that instant. Whereas with the YouTube video, they could literally access it at their own time, watch it over and over again, pause, take notes, have a screen where they watch the videos, have a screen where they apply what was taught, and they were able to move at their own pace and weren't pressured by the live calls, having me right there and teaching them live, and weren't pressured by the fact there were other students waiting for their turn to ask their own questions. Or frankly, these calls were just a way for me to really engage with all my family and friends and just hear about what their reactions are to their results, what their parents' reactions are to them making money online, and we're able to just really engage and get to know each other and spend more time getting to know all my family and friends from all over the world on these Skype calls. So I took this positive feedback and I kept uploading more and more to my YouTube channel. I was uploading every single day, more and more content, and each video was about something different because I wanted my YouTube channel to be able to address every single issue. And eventually, I noticed that it wasn't only my cousins that were watching the videos. There were other people that weren't my cousins watching the videos. And then, this views started growing slowly. I started getting more subscribers. I started getting thank you messages, which was very impactful for me at the time because, if you're on YouTube, a lot of the messages are pretty mean. So to get a bunch of thank yous were pretty awesome. But then the comments got pretty intense. I started people messaging saying, hey, I thought Facebook advertising was hard and confusing, but you really made it clear and simple to understand here. Thank you so much, Andy. So it was pretty awesome those early days on my YouTube channel. I was getting a lot of support, and one day I got a message, probably summer of 2018, a few months in, got a message from this guy in his 20s. He sent me an Instagram DM, and it was a pretty cool message. So I had to show it to my sisters, show it to my mom, and he wrote and basically told me how he was stuck in this 9-to-5 corporate job that he completely hated, and thanks to my video, he was really able to take his business to the next level, scale to $10,000 per day, quit his job, and live a fulfilled life. And you could imagine how strange and impactful and powerful that was to me on so many levels. Because remember, I was starting to become an analyst for some corporate insurance company. So I was not used to people wanting to better their lives, at least in this way. So I kept going. Fast forward to now, we have about a few hundred people using our software every single month. Frankly, I'm not even focused on my e-commerce business. That's all automated. I just spend my day and night just focusing on completing all these requests I get from all over the world, implementing more systems, getting in more support, getting in more employees, because this is just something more fulfilling. What's the next piece of content I can release? What's the next way I could go ahead and make this program even better? What's the next person I could bring into the team? How do I go ahead and give people more one-on-one attention? Because I feel like I have something real here. If I'm able to reach a few hundred people, why can't I reach a few thousand people? Why can't I reach 1 million people? That's the numbers I'm envisioning long term. So take it back to more than 1.5 years ago, where I really got serious into growing this business. I had to sit my team down because I recently hired some new employees for different parts of my e-commerce business. I had really strict sort of savings and cash flow to maintain the wages of all the new hires I've made. But we all said, hey, we got a real shot here. This is something that has a lot of potential. Why don't we give it a shot and go all in into learn ecom? So I sort of scaled down my e-commerce stores. I made it as automated as I can. I kept it there to really stay into the game and make sure I was up to date, and always, I have someone implementing new things, and I'm always constantly learning new strategies, but it wasn't the main focus of the business because I shifted my focus to learn ecom. And anytime you start something entrepreneurial, you must be at least like a bit delusional and super optimistic at the start. And surely in my mind, I thought there's so many people we could reach around the globe. This is going to be amazing. And then I started sort of talking to all my business friends, getting their advice, and very quickly I was able to come to reality, because when I asked them for their advice, I got a lot of responses saying stuff like, there's already a lot of gurus in this space. Or people would say, selling courses is like pretty scammy. Like a lot of people don't want to pay for a course or like invest in their own education. So as you can imagine, I'm 7 months in, risking my e-commerce business that I had before that was exponentially growing, and we're now digging $5,000 in debt every single month just because we had a few new employees and new office to go ahead and fund. And it was very stressful. It was probably one of the most stressful time of my life. Like I would literally wake up at the middle of the night and question myself. What have I done to my career? What have I done to my new employees and all my existing employees? Like, the YouTube ad revenue was only making a few $100s per month. So you can imagine, like, it was tough. But all of a sudden, in July of 2018, all of a sudden, I get $3,000, $5,000 to $10,000 one-on-one students. They saw the amount of value I had on my YouTube channel, and they wanted to work with me personally and get results with their own online store. There was Josh Expedio, he was a dentist from San Jose. There was Ryan and Nancy, a couple from Seattle. And there was Andrew, a college student from Los Angeles. Coincidentally, they all came from California, but this was one of the biggest months for Learn Ecom, closing 3 new clients at $5,000 to $10,000 each. It was amazing. Immediately, after a few weeks, the students were getting results and they wanted to meet me personally. And so in August 2018, I meet up with Andrew, who flies down to Sydney with his family, and I go ahead and I get a link up with him. And then on September of 2018, when I moved to San Francisco, I was able to link up with Joshua at this famous chicken store restaurant called Santongs in San Francisco, and we had an amazing lunch and dinner. We were able to talk more about e-commerce. And lastly, with Ryan and Nancy, we tried several times to link up, but our schedule just kept clashing. We definitely made a good attempt to link up, but other than that, we spent a lot of time jumping on calls, especially when I was living in the States, to really, if not physically meet them, virtually meet them. So every time I would link up with my students, they would ask me, so what is your goal here? They would ask me like, why teach e-commerce if you could just go ahead and double down on your own e-commerce stores, maybe even build more stores and make more money? And I told them, when I started Learn Ecom, Ecom's legacy at the time, I wrote on my desk whiteboard, company mission. I want to free as many people as possible from the 9-to-5 rat race. That was my mission. And I wanted to be able to allow people who came from less fortunate positions to be able to really take advantage of the internet and through hard work, be able to make money online and really escape the situation they're stuck in. That was my mission. And my students would say, well, that's pretty ambitious, but how do you plan on doing that all on your own? And I told them, just to be clear, I don't plan on checking this mission off in the next few months or the next few years and then moving on to like building a SaaS software business. Like this is something that's gonna take a while, and I have a few pretty good ideas. And I would go ahead and show them the stack of testimonials I would get from my YouTube channel, the cool new softwares I was implementing into the program, the cool new videos and the setups, the platform, the educational learning tools, everything I had planned. And I told them, this is just the very beginning. And at the time, everything was very basic, and we just had a few new students starting to really use and implement all our tools. And I said, hey, look, like in the world we're at now, anyone around the world who has internet connection should be able to start their own online business, no matter their skills, situation, income. This could happen anywhere around the planet. All they need is a consistent, reliable, and success-driven program. And my students would say, wow, you're actually making quite a decent amount of progress. Like, I'm happy to be a part of this because I'm getting to use all these new tools and it's definitely helping our own businesses. But how do you plan on getting more paid students? And I said in the most proud way possible, I'm not. most of my audience were just consuming the free content I had on my YouTube channel. And then some of the students might just process that. There'll be a moment of silence, or they wouldn't say anything at all. And then on the way driving home, they'll send me a text message and be like, hey, you've helped us make a huge return on our investment, and we've been able to change our lives, quit our jobs, quit our college degree to really commit to this full time because you showed us the way. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and share your program to all our family and friends. And those were the moments that kept pushing me forward and told me to keep going. That was a beginning of a whole series of events that just stacked on each other and compounded. I started getting messages from people who watch my YouTube content being like, hey, I love the amazing value you post on your YouTube channel. How can I go ahead and work with you personally? I'm willing to pay and compensate you for your one-on-one time. And then it was December, 2 to 3 months after meeting Joshua. I was running this sort of group coaching session. It was like a screen share. I was personally helping a group of students. And the reason why I sort of do these group coaching sessions and really work with all these individuals one-on-one using my personal time is because I never imagined these sort of educational courses to be in competition with like one-on-one mentoring or anything. Like, it's not like Khan Academy and online schooling versus tutoring centers. In my mind, the course could go ahead and liberate all the bulk of the questions and simple tasks, and the one-on-one time could be liberated and sort of focus on the individual's certain unique scenario and situation, and sort of have the best of both worlds and have each support each other. And that's sort of why I was running these sort of over-the-shoulder Skype screen share coaching sessions. And in the middle of one of the coaching sessions where I was going ahead and helping students rate their products from 0 to 10, and if the product was a 7+ out of 10, that was a good product for them to definitely test on Facebook ads. It was a pretty good way to go ahead and learn product research, where I go ahead and help them rate their products live. And while this was happening, I get a text from Josh. And as you can imagine, I take these messages very seriously because he paid for my one-on-one mentorship and he paid quite a decent amount. And there were 5 to 6 messages. It wasn't clear of what they said or the way they came in, but they read along the lines of this. I'm on the internet, news.com.au, front page, Andy Mai about business and learn ecom. So I had no idea what to make of this. I immediately paused the Skype screen share session. I opened up my Chrome tab and I was searching frantically, looking for any evidence of what he was saying. And then 10 minutes later, I was able to find the news article about me. So you can imagine what was going through my head. Like, I was literally shaking, I was nervous, I was sweating because this was my first ever live publication. And I was front page of news.com.au, so it was a big deal. And I got a bunch of messages from family and friends congratulating me. And literally 2 weeks later, the article goes viral on its own. It gets reposted on the New Zealand Herald, News Hub, Express Digest, and many, many more. And it even gets translated into Vietnamese. And all of a sudden, my channel started growing much, much faster. And then students started to flood into Learn Ecom. Learn Ecom was a tool for anybody. And I was working non-stop around the clock to apply every single recommendation for all these new students, apply things to help them get results so that I would be able to turn every single person around the world, given that they were serious, to be able to succeed online. Thanks to the viral news article, hundreds were interested in Learn Ecom. I told my team the same thing. One day we would internationalize Learn Ecom so that we could reach millions of people around the globe, and that's exactly what happened. People started joining around the world from different countries. So by October of 2019, Learn Ecom became a real organization, and we went ahead and got new office space, hired new employees, and really scaled this out. And ever since then, we've just been growing more and more, finding more ways to just better our program and give it more resources to all our students to give them the best product ever. And what you see here, these are just examples of what some of the lessons look like on Learn Ecom. But I sort of use this framework which I invented called multivariate learning, because every single student has so many different circumstances, so many different situations. So showing them one scenario of product research or one scenario of Facebook advertising wouldn't be enough for them, because they're in a different country. Maybe their ad account looks different, maybe their IP is different, maybe things just load different. So that's why I go ahead and create multivariants for that one topic from students from all over the world so that anyone will be able to master that specific topic. Because the typical structure of a program in some everyday online course is literally one video for product research, one video for Facebook ads. The video might be 10 minutes long, and if you don't get it, too bad, you're forced to move on to the next video. And if you're lucky, in those videos, maybe the guru will go ahead and give you a live over the shoulder walkthrough of them doing that action. So that's just one case study. And then after that 10-minute video, you're expected to go ahead and scale your Facebook ads. You're expected to go ahead and find your own winning product. And you know, students can't get results from this because things happen. They get their own circumstances. They might have their own questions that wasn't covered in that 10-minute videos. And you know, I talk to gurus and business people in this space all the time, and they tell me, yes, I do want to go ahead and cater to all these sort of students, but you know, I have hundreds of students and it's impossible to do one-on-one sessions with every single student, help them out with their own specific case. Like, there's just not enough time in the day to do that. And then, you know, the next video after product research would be how to go ahead and market this product. So you're sort of expecting all the students to be able to find a winning product to then market it. So to sort of give you guys a metaphor of how absurd and crazy this is, imagine this is how we went ahead and built houses. So we bring in a person who wants to learn how to build their own house. We give them a 10-minute video showing you exactly step by step how I went ahead and built my house in the suburbs of Sydney, Australia. Here's how I built a foundation. Go ahead and do it yourself. And there'll be students from the US watching this, from Canada watching this, from the UK watching this. You know, their lands might be different. Some of them might have a house on a hill. Some of them have different weather. It's raining more often. And, you know, they're forced to just watch my 10-minute video and sort of copy what I did in Sydney, Australia, and, you know, put together something and just make it work. And after they make it work, we give them another tutorial. Okay, now you got the foundation done. Here's a video on how to go ahead and make the first floor. And then again, everything is different. The size of the land is different. Their structure is different. They force it to work, and the foundation's already pretty shaky. They force the first floor onto this shaky foundation. And after they finish the first floor, we go ahead and feed them the third video, how to go ahead and build the second floor of your house. So they try to stack up a second floor. Obviously, mine is perfect. There's no problems. The video is very structured, but it's only one case study, and all these people have their own situation, and guess what? By the time they build the second level, everything collapses. And the typical reaction people might have in the online education space is, well, maybe we need a better video to follow. The people who are joining the program just don't have enough skill, and they themselves need better skill. But that wasn't the problem at all. You could literally have the best training videos, super detailed. You could have a student that's super tech savvy, very experienced, and the process will still be flawed because you're artificially constraining the amount of information this amazing contractor has to work with. Put in the trouble to go ahead and film a live demonstration of you building your own house, but it's completely useless given that this contractor is working with a different land, a different slope, in a different country with different weather conditions. So your detailed video is obsolete to him. And then on top of that, you force him to go ahead and make it work to your specifications and tell him to go ahead and build another level on top. And if I was sort of giving this talk 30 to 40 years ago, we would have said, yeah, there's no other economical way to do this. Like, we can't have sort of coaches just spending one-on-one time with every single student. Like, there's no way to do it. But what's exciting now is a dream of personalized education. You know, we could literally start giving individuals the tool that will empower students so that they can make things work. So we could have everything tailored to every single student and give them every single situation that they could follow. And students that are moving at a faster rate with no problems, they can move ahead. Students that have problems can go ahead and watch the following videos until they understand and find a video that goes ahead and completely matches their situation to a T, so they can understand and really build a solid foundation before they move to the next level. To give you guys a sense of how this system, how this sort of multivariate program can affect students, here's a montage of all our students' reaction to the multivariate Learn Ecom program.
Andy's course as a whole is really in depth. It's not like a product research, you have like a 3-minute video. Andy has loads of videos. He'll have 10 different videos for product research, 10 different videos for store reviews, and all of these videos are not just him talking, they're real life examples of his other students and where he corrects what they did wrong, and he tells it to you, do this. If something is not good, he says, this is not good. And he's not harsh about it. He gives you a different point of view. I know you can do that, so do that. You know what I mean?
Actually seeing the course laid out and seeing how he consistently adds on more value. And then he tells you you're a lifetime member. Every single day of the week you look on the course and it's more value added.
Because when you join the program, you've got a set blueprint and you know exactly what to do, when to do when it comes to testing, scaling, business scaling, everything. It's in the program. So 100% you have to do it.
What I found with Andy was he was really transparent with me. He made the information really easy to comprehend. His blueprint, he had lots of videos about product analysis and how to find better products and how to rate them and all of that, and that really helped me.
Now, these students have a major input into the Learn Ecom program. The reason I'm here and sort of releasing this training and TED Talk is because I really want to attract more people to contribute to Learn Ecom program so it could help work and grow our content together. And another exciting thing, the people at different educational organizations and different approved Shopify apps reached out to us 1 to 2 years ago and said, hey, we're looking to provide our users more value. We want them to have more success so they can continue using our apps, continue using our program, and you also have the aligned goal of helping them create a successful online business. We want to address the old school perception of what a course looks like, and we want to work with you to make the world's best e-commerce training program. So here's a little montage of all the different sort of Shopify approved apps and online tools and companies that I've worked with, and check out all the articles they've made about me and the Learn Ecom program and how working with these sort of companies has helped their users gain more individual success. So what's really exciting about this, is that the users of these sort of different apps, when they started using our program, they started to get results. And as a result, it was a win-win situation where if the users started to get success, started to get traction, started to be able to make money online, they'll continue using these Shopify approved apps for a longer period of time. So it's a win-win situation. People were able to join my program, learn from the best training ever, and also continue using these apps for a longer period of time because they were getting success and there was no reason for them to give up and stop and close down their online business and close and stop all these subscriptions. And they would continue to use Printify, they'll continue to use SMS Bump, they'll continue to use Seller Trend. And what I did was I did a survey on how much faster students would get results using a multivariate training platform such as Learn Ecom.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm one of Andy's students. I have been in the course for about a month and a half. And just before joining Andy's mentorship program, I had started 2 stores and had lost over $1,000 in drop shipping. And in the past month and a half, I have been going through Andy's course, and in just the past 3 weeks, started to apply and test products for myself. And in just these past 3 weeks, I have been able to make about $1,000 in profit.
Hi there, I have been doing dropshipping without getting results for 7 months. I lose a lot of money and I got like 15 sales or something like that. Then I just decided that I need a mentor, and I got consistent sales in the first week. That was amazing. I'm so happy about that. And then I get like to $800 a day in the second week, and I'm still scaling. So that's my experience with him. I'm really grateful for what I've decided to do.
So before working with Andy, I was doing a very inconsistent 1 to 2 sales a week. Within the first 2 weeks of working with Andy, I was hitting 1K consistently and still am to this day. And I've taken my store up to 15K in revenue within 4 weeks.
Hello everybody, my name is DeMarco Dawson, and I've been doing e-commerce for about a year now. And when I started e-commerce, I was very, very unorganized. Andy's course helped me structure and narrow down the specific strategies that he used. And also it helped me get a great understanding on how to test products, how to scale products, and how to pick products properly.
I'd been doing drop shipping for like 6 months consistently before I started Andy's course. And within the first 5 to 6 weeks, I got my first sale. Fast forward 2 months later, I've done at least 500 a day consistently for all of April. This past week, I've done 7,976 in sales.
Hi, my name is Murray Sharp. I started advertising within the first week of commencing the course, and I found that I was making sales almost immediately and had sales of over $100 the following day. 3 days later, I was making sales of in excess of $200 per day. I contribute this rapid start in receiving revenue to implementing the skills learned by following Andy's blueprint guidance and also to the Learn Ecom course materials.
And it actually keeps growing. Like, that's just a few testimonial stories, because there's actually been some stories that we haven't published of students getting sales and results within the first 2 to 3 days. They went in, they had some prior knowledge, they just took in all the new things we taught, and they were able to get sales on the first day they launched their Facebook ads. So everything I've talked about so far emphasizes the importance of multivariate learning and having many different videos on just one topic, so that it could literally satisfy every single student's needs, and it allows them to actually further progress their mastery in that topic. Because watching one 10-minute video over and over again, there's so much you can learn. But if you're watching 10 videos about that one topic, you can really become a master and learn mastery within that one topic. And the last point I want to make is, everything we've talked about is about the sort of world we live in right now, but what about everyone else on the planet? All these pictures of students who use Learn Ecom throughout the planet, and they're all very interesting stories. And we have to give credit to Facebook and Google that allows us to reach all these individuals online. But probably the most needed story is the one in the bottom middle right. So I used to do videos like this, online webinars, online trainings like this, and I used to say, who knows, maybe one day will be used by someone all the way from Nigeria. Like, I was just thinking of the furthest, sort of most unthought of place for online success. And then a few months later, I got a video from Nigeria, and it's this young man from the bottom middle of this photo, and his name was Kenyi. And I look at his testimony, and he talks about how he loves the Learn Ecom program, he loves the videos, and he loves making money online. And what's incredible is that this shows that this has the ability to tap so many different people all over the planet. Kenyi has since become one of the biggest contributors to our program, contributing lessons and videos with him in it. So he's literally now helping other people get the same results he's been able to achieve. And he's able to do like $1,000 plus days. And another similar situation, it turns out an 18-year-old teenager from Ohio, Cincinnati, USA, Chad no longer goes to school. If this didn't work out, he was forced to go ahead and go to community college, but he had access to the internet, he had a computer, he had a laptop, and he found about Learn Ecom from our YouTube channel, and he was able to go from having zero e-commerce knowledge to making $1,500 plus days, and he credits this to the multivariate program we have.
It's not like a product research, you have like a 3-minute video. Andy has loads of videos. He'll have 10 different videos for product research, 10 different videos for store reviews, and all of these videos are not just him talking, they're real life examples of his other students, and where he corrects what they did wrong. And for reference, if you look right here, this past week I've done 7,976 in sales.
And so, as you can see, we collectively want to reach the entire planet. These are all screenshots of what Learn Ecom looks like with multivariate videos for every single topic. Various scenarios, various case studies, various screens, various people, so that every single student can find one situation that fits their needs. Or they could go ahead and watch all of the videos and get mastery on that one topic. And to show you guys what going through a multivariate program might look like, I'm going to show you this. Yeah, this is probably like a 5 out of 10. It's not.
This one can used to be used in ears and mouth.
This is the one that I'm trying to test.
I don't know if it's a good choice or not.
Wrinkle repairing.
For example, this product you can tape
underneath that one sentence.
Yeah. 2, 3.
Yeah, I think you might have to close, minimize the tab.
No.
Yeah.
So I am having a 0.7.
So add 2 spaces, you mean?
Hello, it's Alex Kenny, and I want to tell you why I joined Andy's consulting call and mentorship program. And that's because over time I didn't know how to read the Facebook data, the KPI, and run profitable Facebook ads. I chose Andy because of how transparent he was within his information on his channel. I like how much information he was providing for free that was so valuable to help other people succeed within the business. After reaching out to Andy and working with him, I started to see results that I was not seeing by myself. He provided me a blueprint that was so simple that I just followed from a T to see consistent results within my business. I went on and hit my first 1K a day. I'm letting anyone know, if you are within the fence of joining Andy's mentorship program, I'll absolutely join it. If I could go back in time, I'll do exactly what I done. At first, it was scary, but from the result, he was helping other people. The success stories I saw, I couldn't miss an opportunity like this. So I went on and purchased it, and then I went on to hit my first 1K a day. I'm gonna keep following his mentorship program. I'm gonna keep following his blueprint that he provided for me personally to reach even higher numbers than I'm hitting right now.
So here's just a video of one of our monthly live coaching sessions with all our students from all over the world, literally showing you guys how diverse this program is.
So where in the world are you guys at? I'm from California, and it sucks. Australia, nice.
Not worse than India.
How about you, Daniel?
Canada, man.
Nice. How about you, Santiago?
I'm from Argentina, but living in Denmark now.
Denmark?
That's awesome,
right.
guys. I'm from Sydney, Australia. Very diverse. I like this group.
We're all from every corner of the world.
So whenever I see this, and when I talk to my employees, my team members, and when we get letters, I just want to let everyone know that Learn Ecom is much, much more than me now. We have 10 full-time virtual and in-house employees, and I think we have a number of 100 plus students that have contributed to the program. This is a world-class online education platform on entrepreneurship for anyone, anywhere. Who would have imagined that literally one person or one organization could have done this? But it's really has to be a collaborative effort, and we're sort of implementing more tools so that hopefully students can easily collaborate and add more content into our program. I want to leave you guys with a thought experiment. Literally 400 years ago, in one of the most literate parts of Europe, only roughly 50% of that population was literate. 20% male, 10% of women. And I suspect that if you go ahead and talk to some of the educated members of the clergy and you ask them, hey, what do you think the percentage of the population would be able to read in the future if we have a great education system? They might give you maybe, 40% of the people would be able to read, or maybe even 50% of the population might be able to read if we have a world-class education system. Now fast forward 400 years later, and that prediction would have been super pessimistic, because now we're literally pretty close to 100% of the population being literate and being able and capable of reading, whether it's in their own language or in English. Now, if I were to ask you today, what percent of the population would be capable to build the next Amazon, to build the next Tesla, to build the next Google, or deeply impact philanthropy such as Bill Gates, or just people being able to work at home, have their own businesses so they could spend more time with family and friends? How many percent of the population do you think can do that? Because right now, less than 1% of the people are able to do what I just said, and maybe with some more successful, success-driven online courses on entrepreneurship, maybe 10% of the population can do these crazy things. Or maybe it could even be 20% if we're optimistic. Those blinders that we just observed are probably due to, all these sort of online gurus teaching you many different things, programs that have a lot of gaps in them, and this leads to a lot of individuals hitting walls and giving up on their goal. That's what's really stopping the percentage of successful entrepreneurs from hitting that next level high point. And this wall is often because individuals just don't know what business model to stick to. They don't know how to go ahead and find a winning product. And what's really important is because they don't know how to master mindset. They don't know how to set up a store and do product research because they're not given 30 plus videos on those individual topics for them to really master it. So as a result, there's lots of gaps throughout their knowledge, throughout their business, and that's why it just collapses. They just give up and they go back to their 9-to-5 job. So imagine if we were in a world where we could actually fill in those gaps. Make sure that every single person that gives entrepreneurship a try actually has a good and solid chance to succeed. The actual numbers of successful entrepreneurs would be much higher than 1%. Maybe it could be 30, maybe it could be 40, maybe it could even be 50% of the world. Because I'm pretty optimistic that we could really reach the same numbers of people that are literate and go from 15% of the population being able to read to 100%. If we actually pull off proper entrepreneurship and online business education, we could literally have 80 to 90% of the people creating amazing businesses at home, doing their own projects, really impacting society to bring the whole world to the next level with amazing individuals everywhere, impacting the world in many different ways. Because if you look at the wealthiest countries in the world, like United States, Japan, Western Europe, they were the first countries to have mass education for every single everyday individual. So it's not a coincidence that all these countries that were the first to really give education to the everyday individual were the ones that first industrialized and really blow up their country's GDP. Imagine what would happen if we give every individual around the world that has access to internet a reliable, consistent, and success-driven program that teaches them how to go ahead and build their own online business simply using their laptop and internet connection, and make it such that it's a basic need such as clean drinking water or basic shelter, and just make it a fundamental human right that everyone needs to learn a little bit about entrepreneurship. So today I've shown you guys how to guarantee your results through multivariate programs, and now I'm going to ask, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to coast along, do nothing, or are you going to join and execute this? Because your fate, your business fate, your family's fate, your next 40 years all lies on this one decision. Now, we're basically a sum of all our choices. Where you're at right now is thanks to the sum of your previous decisions. Right now, you've got an important pivotal choice to make. And if you're the type of person that wants to take this opportunity, apply it, learn it, I've got good news for you. If you want to get access into Learn Ecom's program and work with me, get access to all the tools and software we use, be able to ask me questions, be able to jump on the live monthly Q&A coaching sessions with me, and actually talk to my students, be a part of the private mastermind group chat where you can meet a lot of the people and success stories that you saw today on today's presentation. You'll get access to all of this. Here's what you have to do. Beneath the screen right now, a button will pop up. Click the button and it will take you to a page where you could go ahead and answer a few short questions. Now, I'm not going to be working with anyone in this Learn Ecom program. This is only for people who are craftsmen, people who are committed, because disclaimer, like, this isn't for people who want to get rich quick. I only want to work with makers, producers of high quality services and goods, people who love what they do, and people who want to add value and contribute. That's sort of what I'm looking for. And that's sort of why if you click the button beneath the screen right now, I'm going to get you to answer a few questions so I could really filter out the people who just really want to get rich quick and not provide value. Because I want to make sure that you have the qualities of someone that is committed, willing to provide value, wants to aid in our bigger mission, and they actually want to solve problems. If you are those things, you'll be able to go ahead and schedule a call with either me, myself, or one of my expert team members, where we'll go ahead and tell you about Learn Ecom, and we'll get you into the program, and we'll start straight away in helping you achieve your goals fast. However, if you don't have those things and you fill out the survey, I want to apologize in advance because we won't be jumping on a call with you. We're only looking for people who can support us on our company's mission, because we get a lot of bookings, we get a lot of interested clients, and we're at a point where we only want high quality students to really push our company to the next level and really just create this amazing program for positive, committed, helping students that contribute to the program to make it flourish so that every single newcomer gets results much faster. So if you think you have what it takes and you meet the descriptions I just mentioned, click the link below, go to the page, answer those few questions, and if you get approved, schedule and book in your call with myself or my team members, and we'll see if you're a right fit for the program. If not, no worries. So I look forward to speaking with you soon. Click the button below and let's get this done.